The following podcast may contain adult language and an abundance of teeth. So get ready, nerds, because it's August Bites, Crocodile Edition. Welcome and thank you for joining us on the Salty Nerd Podcast. Today we're going to be talking August Bites, Crocodile Edition. I am joined, as always, by my fantastic panel of nerds. Matt Vader 74, Barbarian Space Viking, and social media specialist. Welcome, sir.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well.
I'm very happy to be here.
I know.
I missed you guys.
I missed this too. This is nice. I missed Batman. Batman's on my side. I love it.
Drinking my Jack Daniels down home punch.
You were so adorable.
It is really good. Except,
Nerdrotic was very impressed with our Batman.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, that's a dope Batman.
those are impossible to find, and they're worth like $20 million.
Yeah, I guess he said he has a Superman one, or he used to have a Superman one.
Something like that.
Something. Yeah, I kind of want. Now I want Superman in that corner.
But Nerdrotic gave us a lot of props for representing.
That's dope.
What does he think about our jar of corks?
He's in favor of it.
He's in favor of Corky. All right. Anyway, Jude is here also. Hello, Jude. You're drinking again. Classic.
Classic Jude. Hello. Good morning. How are you?
Good. You picked all of these movies?
I did.
She did.
Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah. Once a year around her birthday, we give her 2 weeks to pick whatever she wants.
Just shut her the hell up. They never let me pick movies because I love terrible movies.
And then she's
in August,
she's
I'm
banned.
allowed to pick the movies.
Yeah. She gets 2 weeks in August, and then the rest of the year is nothing.
That's accurate.
Matthew Kadish is here as well. Welcome, sir.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to talk about these terrible, terrible alligator movies.
They're very good.
Are they?
They're amazing.
Aren't two of them technically crocodile? No, wait.
It's
There's
crocodile.
one alligator and two
some
crocodiles.
weird. Well, the first one's like some weird dinosaur.
Oh, it's like a genetic experiment or
Yeah.
some
Still
shit.
a croc.
Croc. Dino croc. Anyway, we're talking Lake Placid, alligator, and dino croc this week.
Roger Corman's Dino Croc.
Roger Corman's dino croc.
I just want to say that it's going to be a weird fucking week when the only way to watch 2 out of 3 of these movies
It's on YouTube.
is on YouTube for free.
I didn't know when I picked it.
ripped from some jackass's VHS tape collection. It is. Fuck, Jude. It was just brutal.
Yeah, Vader texted the group and he was like, I can't find 2 of these movies. I guess we're not going to be able to watch them. And I'm like, actually, here's the links to the YouTube.
Kadish links 2 YouTube videos. And
God damn you.
Vader goes, oh, shit.
He's like, now I don't have an excuse to not watch it.
We went to coffee yesterday and Vader was like, I'm really pissed off. And I was like, save it for the show.
Oh, boy, this is going to be great. All right, guys, before we get into it, we're going to take a quick break to listen to some sponsors. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Hey, if you'd like to support the podcast, go to saltynerdclub.com and join our ever-growing Patreon club. We love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting us. And shout out to all our new patrons. We really appreciate the support. If you would like to join them, go to saltynerdclub.com, pick a tier, whatever tier you want. It helps us out greatly. You get access to exclusive content, behind-the-scenes photos. Our Discord app has an exclusive chat room just for our patrons where they can tell us what kind of movies they want us to watch and have a lot of fun talking about the podcast and other things and pop culture and all that stuff. So saltynerdclub.com. Check it out. Help us out. That's a shirt. Check it out and help us out. Okay.
I'm making a shirt too.
Are you? What's it going to be called?
It's just like that one that you're wearing, only not at all.
Yeah.
Peace, love, dinosaurs?
Peace, love, Dino Croc.
Dino Croc. No, this is not a Dino Croc.
I appreciate that you wore your reptile shirt today in honor of August Bites.
Respect. All right. I'm also wearing amber and volcanic rock. That's my Jurassic Park shout
That's
out.
pretty dope, dude.
Huh?
It's pretty dope.
It's subtle.
I like it.
Subtle nerdum.
I like the bracelet. I think I'm gonna buy some.
I know you are. You make fun of me for them.
I know,
but I'm getting you on board.
I'm gonna get cool ones.
All right.
I mean, if it's good enough for Captain Jack Sparrow.
I know.
Jeremy Clarkson as well. Have you ever seen Jeremy Clarkson? Dude has like bracelets and a watch. He's crazy. He's got like a bandana wrapped around his wrist. It's weird.
You have an entire Discord chat dedicated to watches.
That's
I
right.
do. And it's open to public.
Watch porn.
Ooh, we should make a new Discord about flair.
Yes.
I am the king
I'm
of
on
flair.
it. I'm on it, dude. Okay, let's get into the movie, guys. Enough fluff. Roger Corman's Dino Croc. Jude,
Yes.
take it away.
2004 Dino Croc, rated R with a runtime of 1 hour 30 minutes. Has no budget, but what do you think it brought into the box?
Was it?
Come on, guess.
Was it in the theater?
I don't know.
It was. It had a limited theatrical
No
run.
way. LA only, like limited.
Something like that.
Okay.
Well, that narrows it down.
$30,000.
B?
$12.
$17,000.
17,000.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Okay.
Is that just so it's like eligible to be nominated for the Razzies or something?
I don't know.
No, what happened was, sorry, babe.
No,
I'm
go ahead.
Just gonna jump in here real quick.
Of
So
course
what
you are.
happened was Roger Corman made this movie for pennies, and then he recouped some of his costs in a limited theatrical run. And while it was in the theaters, he sold it to the Sci-Fi Channel
Ah.
and made his profit there. And then the Sci-Fi Channel ran it as an original movie.
That Roger Corman, he's
It's
just
a tricky.
He's smart.
He gets it. He
I make terrible
a
movies that
financial
don't
god.
lose money.
well, he's like he understands the subtleties of Hollywood and how to profit from it with
Yeah.
like minimal effort.
This
plays the
mo-
game.
This movie was released in 2004.
Yes.
And I believe he was like in his mid 80s when this came out.
still doing it. He's
Yeah.
still out there doing it, you guys.
Is there like a documentary or something that's
About Roger Corman?
actually good about him?
So he wrote an autobiography, which is actually a really good book. I would recommend.
I'll have to check
reading
that
it.
out.
Yeah.
It's not in Audible.
It's not.
Yeah,
We
so
should make
I
it.
should hit him up.
Dude, narrate that book.
I want to. I've
That'd be
looked
amazing.
for it. All right, you ready
Okay,
for the
yes.
synopsis?
Go ahead.
Okay. A genetic research lab is recreating the crocodile's dinosaur ancestor, and the Grant Lakes County dogs keep going missing, but I'm sure it's just a coincidence. When a young boy's three-legged dog, Lucky, goes missing, his older brother teams up with his old high school girlfriend, who happens to be the dog warden now, to reunite the boy with his dog again. During a lakeside frolic, they meet Dr. Campbell, a scientist who reveals the secret that Jericho Lab is hiding. One of the experiments has gotten loose and has developed a taste for hound and human. Not to worry, though, Dick Sidney, a real pro, just arrived to stalk the croc because, after all, we're all hunters.
I love that the main character's name is Dick Sidney.
Dick Sidney
Dick
from
Sidney.
Australia?
I'm just,
That's crazy.
Oh yeah, hunting a croc.
I love her. Jude, I love your synopsis.
Synopses are awesome.
Because listen, I had no idea what this movie was about until you just
Solved it.
This
until
movie,
you just explained it to me.
I'm with.
For real.
I'm with
what
V
is
on
it?
this.
What am I watching? I have no idea what's happening right now.
I watched this movie, but I literally blocked it out of my memory
I know,
because
right?
when I sat down, we were like, "We're talking about Dino Croc." Shit, what was that movie about? Like, I don't remember anything that happened.
Let me tell you something. I did the same thing. And I had to put it back on again yesterday and be like,
Well-
oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
But you-
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's so forgettable.
You did pick two of these movies without ever seeing them before. right?
Correct.
Yeah.
No. This is the only one I've never seen before.
Oh, okay.
So you've seen Alligator.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, now I hate you even more.
I'll explain when we get to it.
Yeah, this movie is awful. It's so bad. It's not. It's
terrible.
like corny, but not in a good way. Corny. It's just terrible CG.
Oh,
and
the CG is amazingly awful.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
It's like Mortal Kombat 1992 bad.
No, it's worse.
Yeah,
It's worse than
Oh,
that.
way
I
worse.
think
Sure.
it's worse than that.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
yeah.
worse because this is from 2004.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it had a shoestring budget. Like, didn't the Mortal Kombat movie have a huge
Now,
budget?
don't forget, Roger Corman started his own special effects house
Ugh.
with Battle Beyond the Stars.
They could have gone to the local community college computer center
Yeah.
and had somebody build
You
them.
could
That's
have
probably
done
what they did.
You could have done something better on your phone.
Yeah. I actually we'll talk about the next movie soon, but I give that one more props than this one.
Yeah, of course.
That was way, as far as the special effects goes. But God, this movie is I don't remember anything about it. I watched it
I remember
all the
one
way
part.
through.
Okay, so the little boy's parents are dead, and he lives with his older brother now.
Okay.
They have a three-legged dog whose name is Lucky. And the older brother is taking care of his younger brother. I don't remember anybody's name. And he used to be with the dog warden girl, but her dad, who's like the sheriff, punched him out and broke his jaw, so he's not allowed to talk to her. But then they hook up on the couch, and then the little boy runs away to go find his dog.
Oh, that's right.
And that's
Okay.
when the Dino Croc kills the little boy.
Yes,
Is that-
they actually killed the little boy in
Yes.
this movie, and in the most gruesome way.
Oh my God,
Yes.
his head flies clean
I
up.
remember
the
that.
Dino
Okay.
Croc eats his whole body
But the head.
except for the head. He just like comes
So-
up
That was
and chomps him.
the most glorious thing
I knew you were going to
I've
say
ever
that. That was your
seen.
favorite
So-
part.
That is the one cool thing.
For a second, I
in
was like, "Is this
movie.
3D?" Because that head flies
Because
at you.
this kid is walking around.
How old do you
looking
think
for
he
his-
was?
Oh, he's like
He's
8.
12.
Okay,
12.
He's
whatever.
12.
Okay.
He's still a kid.
Yeah.
And here he is wandering around in this dilapidated house over the water.
Swamp
Yeah.
house.
And I'm going, no. They are not going to kill the child.
That's what
There's
Matt said.
no fucking way they're going to
Yes.
kill the kid. And all of a sudden, chomp.
That's
and
right.
It was like, what?
Yes.
We
And
had
it's-
to give
and- and-
our main character motivation.
Yeah, and his head goes flying and tumbling through the
yes,
air.
okay.
And it was like awesome. I'm like, okay, now I'm interested. And that lasted about 30 seconds. And
About
then
30 seconds. That's fair.
yeah.
Well, I knew Alex would like this movie because they get rid of the annoying kid actor about midway through.
I completely forgot about that, but now that you're talking about it, I'm like, that's like a huge like Roger Corman fu to Steven Spielberg.
Mhm.
Like, hey, remember those movies with the dinosaurs where you didn't let any of the kids die? F you, man. Like,
we kill our kids
we
in
kill
our
the kids.
movies.
This is realistic shit.
That was incredible.
That
It's
was
like,
pretty good.
They killed the fucking kid. That's awesome.
And the dog lived.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was wild.
That dog really is lucky.
Okay.
It was
I just-
amazing.
They just added a star for me. That was good. Good on you, movie.
Well, that brought it up from a 2-1 star.
I honestly forgot that happened though, because the rest of the movies. not great.
That one scene gave it the 1 star. It
Yeah.
needs to be a crap fest.
Yeah, okay. I'll take. Yeah,
That's it. That's all I'm
You
giving
guys
it.
are
Yeah.
so mean.
Jude, what are your thoughts on this movie? First time
I
watching
mean,
it, right?
obviously, I loved it.
Okay. Obviously.
I'm Jude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was my first time watching it, and when I was searching for a theme for August Bites, and I really wanted to watch Lake Placid.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I need 2 other movies. And when I realized that Roger Corman had made another movie in the 2000s and had a crocodile in it, and I was like, I don't even have to think about it. Like,
Yeah.
yes, take my money.
All the check marks.
All the check marks. Yeah. And it's terribly written and badly acted.
Oh, really bad.
And silly and goofy, but there's just such a charm
Yeah.
for me. And this is what I want in a movie. I'm sorry it doesn't have any boobs in it, but there was some sex.
They probably would have been like floppy old lady boobs if there was.
Dino
so.
boobs.
Dino boobs.
Um,
Ew.
yeah, I loved it, and I mean the story is simple enough that I mean you don't really have to think too hard about it. You can
Yeah.
just enjoy it for being a terrible Dino Croc movie. The Dino Croc looks awful.
Really bad.
I think that if the Dino Croc had looked better, this might actually be a decent movie.
I don't think so.
It needs more cheese. I think it would have been more fun because it's already campy. It's a B movie campy thing. It needed more cheese, and then it would have reached that level of like,
This movie definitely takes itself a bit too seriously.
yeah, 100%. Kadish, what did you think about this cinematic masterpiece?
It's a typical Roger Corman movie. I know that Jude loved it. I did not. I thought
mean,
it was
it's
okay.
better than Battle Beyond the Stars.
No, it's
I
not.
disagree.
It really
But,
isn't. I think this is the worst Roger Corman movie I've seen. Of all the
Wow.
ones that we've seen. This is like my least favorite of all of them.
It's like his movies. As time goes on, they get worse and worse. Like his earlier stuff is
Well,
actually
he's
like
1,000 years old now.
But here's the thing. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Matt. Roger Corman movies, to me, they all have some kind of sense of fun to them. They don't. This movie was not fun to me. There was nothing fun in this movie except for when the kid got his head bit off.
Yeah.
But even that was kind of gross.
His head didn't get bit off. His body got
Yeah.
bit
Yes.
off. And
But
all that was left was his head.
you know, I can
And
go.
that's how they identified him.
I can go away
Savage.
from most Corman movies going, yeah, that was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
But it was still kind of fun or weird or campy in a way.
It's
Okay.
no
I
Death Stalker.
didn't come away with any of those thoughts from this movie.
Yeah, Deathstalker was Roger Corman?
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So-
heavy cheese.
Oh, yeah.
There's-
Yeah, it's what I just said. Like, it's
Yeah.
no Death Stalker.
Yeah, yeah.
But I still enjoyed it. I love a good
Yeah.
like prehistoric
So
reptile movie.
anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Matt.
I mean, it's got a character named Dick Sidney.
Right.
You know,
From Australia.
yeah. And I have a theory. I don't know if this is true or not, but I just have a theory that Roger Corman's special effects house got like a new app that could just put like CGI dinosaurs into the film, and he was like, "Let's make a movie around this."
They probably signed up for the free version of Adobe GoPro or something, or whatever they call it.
or like back in 2004, where you could get like an app on your phone that actually put dinosaurs in your video. They were like,
Yeah,
he was like-
Instagram has something like that. It's kind of the same level of this. You know, the Instagram app. I mean, I follow a bunch of Jurassic Park nerds, but like they all like do the videos and they have like T-Rexes walking around in the background. They're like, "Oh, look at me, guys!"
They look way better than this.
And it looks better than this movie.
But did you guys notice like how serious the music, the score
The
of this
score
movie
is the weirdest part of this.
I don't think I know.
It's,
I don't know.
It's
I didn't.
very like something out of like Damien.
It's like
children.
it's an epic score with like a chorus and like
It's
you know.
it's almost gothic.
Really?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the composer, his name's Damon Ebner, and it felt like he was trying to use this movie as like a showpiece to show like how epic he can make his score.
This is his opus.
But it actually sounded like when you buy like stock score like songs for your movie, like stuff that you know you can just like license out for your film. It felt like he did that for like a like high fantasy epic and just put the music in this movie because like it's so over the top
That's
epic.
That's weird because I didn't notice the music in this thing at all. And you know, like for other movies, like at least for like Battle Beyond the Stars, we watched that a few weeks ago. I thought the music was cool in that because I found out that, you know, Wrath of Khan, James Horner completely stole his own music for Wrath of Khan from Battle Beyond the Stars, which was a trip. That was weird. But this movie, I didn't even hear it.
Well,
So-
the very opening of this movie, when all the credits are rolling, has like this like, la, da, 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 you know, like a very like epic score.
It's seriously like all I could think of was like the scene in Damien where you like realize the kid is the devil and it's like
Yeah.
and it's like children almost like
Yeah, I get it,
ghost children are singing it.
It's like a child's choir, but
Yes.
like when we were watching this, I turned to Jude and I was like, "This is very heavy music for like a Dino Croc film."
I was like, is it going to turn out that the Dino Croc is also the devil?
That would
It
be.
didn't.
That would be.
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
What a twist, right?
Yeah, he just comes up from
I
a
just
fiery
fixed the
hell.
movie.
Yeah, he just. Yeah, there you go,
But
dude.
you know, it's
Call
kinda,
Roger Corman.
It's kind of funny because all three of these movies have like a very kind of standard formula to them, which I'm calling like the crocodile or the alligator formula.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I
Um,
was going to say the same
yeah,
thing.
yeah, where like you always have the hunter.
Yes.
In this case, Dick Sidney.
Uh-huh.
Then you have like the hero and his love interest who are like teaming up to take this down. They're usually like kind of specially suited to like, you know, deal with a crocodile. And then the monster in some way has been genetically altered to become bigger and more dangerous than usual.
2 out of 3 of these has the evil like laboratory
Yeah.
that's responsible.
And they all have like dogs in them.
Dogs.
Yes.
You know, because crocs and alligators like dogs.
Well, yeah. I mean, we got to call Jay, Drunk 3PO, because they've got crocs all over the place down there in Florida. Is it alligators or crocs in Florida? Whatever one. Either one.
I think
And
it's
they
alligator.
take freaking dogs out all the time. They're like, oh, my dog went missing over by the lake. Oh, wonder what happened.
dogs and babies.
Yeah. Poor baby. God, I would be freaking out, man.
But it was funny. So Roger Corman sold this movie to the Sci-Fi Channel, which aired it as an original. And so after he closed that deal, he went back to them and was like, "Hey, I got an idea for a sequel. Would you guys be interested in making this like a series?" And that was pretty much their response.
It's the Jonah Hill meme.
Sci-Fi was literally like, sequels don't really do too well for us, so we're gonna pass.
Unless they're a Sharknado movie.
and then, well, it was obviously a lie, but then Roger Corman was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a sequel anyway. And so like,
Oh,
Did he
God.
really?
He just
he's
loves
made-
this franchise.
he's
Yeah,
made
sure.
4 sequels to this.
Oh
movie.
my God! There's 4 of these things.
Yes. So basically, there's Dino Croc. Then the sequel to this is called Super Gator, and then there's Dino Croc versus Super Gator, and
Jude's, look at Jude's face right now, dude.
We're like,
And,
we know what we're watching next year.
Yeah.
and basically, he wanted to do a 4th film, which is which involves Super Gator, and it was released on June 26, 2010, and it was directed by Jim Wynorski, who directed Chopping Mall.
Okay. All right. I'm in. I'm upset that I'm just finding this out now.
And it starred David Carradine.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh no.
Oh man, we are never going to run out of content,
And,
guys.
and after he made these sequels, he sold each one of them to the Sci-Fi Channel.
Good for him.
Good
Good
going,
for
dude.
him.
Good going. All right. Final thoughts on Dino Croc, Matt Vader.
Oh.
You didn't ask him his favorite part.
Yeah, we already know.
No,
It's
it was
the
when
kid.
it was when the kid got
Okay.
Yeah.
death deal.
It's also my favorite part now.
It was
too.
like he gets everybody's favorite part.
yeah.
It was like the only good part of this
I
movie.
recognize that kid too. He's from like the Disney Channel or something. Like I've seen his face before, but go ahead.
Awful movie. And I'm never going to get that time of my life back. But that's okay. I don't mind watching it for us. Terrible movies are fun to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, bad movie. One star shit fest.
You let us know every time though.
1 star, big old solid
Butthole.
of awfulness. Yes.
Rude.
Judah.
One chocolate starfish for sure. That's it.
That's so gross. Jude, how about you?
I liked it.
Okay.
I understand that I am a fucking weirdo
Okay.
that likes weird things. So no, I do not recommend that you watch this, unless you are also a weirdo.
You're not alone out there.
No, I'm not. Yeah, it's not for everybody.
You
It's not for most people. But I liked it. I thought it was fun.
Okay.
I love Roger Corman movies. I'm always willing to like if you say Roger Corman like had something to do with making it, I'm gonna watch it. It's not a good movie though. It's probably like a 2.5 out of 5.
That's half. That's
Yeah.
not
It's-
bad.
Two and a half?
A 50% is still a failing grade.
Okay. All right.
So,
Fair
but
enough.
I give it
Just
two
like-
and a half dog legs out of 5. They actually had a 3-legged dog in this
a real
movie.
3-legged dog in this movie.
And I think they already had the dog, and they had to write something about like around it. And they were like, "We've got this 3-legged dog. We should probably write that in."
One of the actors had it as like a companion. Like, hey guys, I can't leave my trailer
support
without
dog.
I'm
my
sorry.
dog.
Sometimes we always have this movie playing while we're talking about
And
it.
it totally breaks
And
our
it's just like,
concentration.
There's Lucky. And I'm like, oh, it was so fun. I'm
He's got a little
sorry.
bandana on. He's
Yeah.
cute.
A little black sheepdog with a
Yeah.
bandana. Katie's just gonna put this
I
screen on
I
here.
used to have that same dog,
God, that's
except he had
hilarious.
4 legs.
Oh, that's
2.5 dog legs. Wow.
He's a stock dog.
Matt Kadish, final thoughts and give it a rating.
So I don't think this movie's as bad as you guys are making it out to be. It's not a great movie, but it's like a passable movie. It's something
It's
that
a movie.
it's your typical sci-fi original film where like you watch it, you forget about it, you move on with your life. It was just a time filler.
I forgot about it.
You know?
You had to plug yourself into the Matrix for an hour and a half and waste some time, and this is
Yeah.
what you watched.
I
And it's not an incompetent film. Like, you know, there's character arcs, there's relationships, there's motivations. The special effects are kind of wonky. The ending never ends. Like they have like 2 or 3 different endings to this movie. And it's always ridiculous. Like they trap the Dino Croc in like this tunnel, and then the evil scientist lady shows up and she goes into the tunnel, and it looks like the thing's dead, and you know it's not dead, and she starts doing a like recorded statement right next to it, and then it wakes up and eats her and gets loose, and then
Who
they have
saw
to kill
that
it again.
coming?
I know, right?
Yeah,
So-
how is it they kill this? They lure it into an under the freeway tunnel, seal
No,
it
they
off.
hit it by a train.
then they
So
pump it full-
first, Dick Sidney comes up with a trap because he's a master hunter,
Right.
and he gets Tom Banning, who's the older brother, and a kind of like welder, like a guy who constructs
He's
stuff.
an artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he gets Tom to basically help him build this trap, and then the girlfriend Diane, who's also the head dog catcher,
Yes.
figures out how to lure the beast in there, and so all 3 of these guys work together to trap the Dino Croc.
Because it
So
takes a
it's
team. It
so
takes a
bad.
village.
It's
Yeah.
so bad.
And once they trap it, they think it's over until they let it loose again. And then by this time, Dick Sidney has pieced out. So like it's just Tom and Diane taking on this Dino Croc. and they have to lure it in front of a speeding train in order to kill it. But then, big twist at the end as they're walking off into the sunset, there's another dino croc.
Oh, man.
And it's on the loose.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Cue the epic orchestral score, and we're out.
Alex, did you rate this? Wait,
Well,
did you rate
he
it?
didn't rate
I
it
haven't
yet.
rated it yet.
Go ahead,
So
Katie.
I am giving this one 2 swamp excursions out of 5.
2 out of 5.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a 1-star crap fest.
My
You
man.
are
My
a crazy
man.
person.
No, this
you
is
don't
terrible.
understand
Table
good
split.
filmmaking.
Table
Table
is
split.
Table-
2-star or 1-star? You guys pick.
Hey, 2.5.
2.5. That's right. 2.5.
I brought the average up.
Yeah. Because she loves Roger Corman. So that makes sense. 1/2 star for Roger Corman. Yeah, this is not. Like Jeremy John says this thing. He's like, I'm going to forget about this movie in T-minus 3 minutes. That was literally what happened. Like I watched it and then I was like, oh, okay.
What is happening?
just, I just shook it off and it disappeared. So,
Yeah, you even forgot the best part of the movie.
I did. I forgot the kid died. I literally forgot about this movie
He
after
loves
watching it.
watching kids die.
I love it. Stupid kids. I love you, boys. Anyway, yeah, no, it's not a good movie. Don't watch it. It's terrible. It's on YouTube, so that should tell you at least something. But no, I'm with Vader. This is just a big
Awful.
old butthole of a movie.
Except for when the kid dies.
That's still a good part.
It's the
Just
only
go
good
watch
part.
that part. Where is that? Like in the 10-minute mark or something?
We could probably cut it out. and
We
put
could.
put
I'll post it on
the-
my Instagram so you
Yeah.
guys don't have to watch the whole movie. Okay, guys. That's it for Dino Croc. We're going to take a quick break real quick. And when we get back, we're going to talk about Alligator.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Hey, if you'd like to grab some awesome swag like the shirt I'm wearing right now, go to saltynerdstore.com. You can also pick up the one that Matt Vader is wearing and represent the barbarian space Viking, Matt Vader 74, with the 3D glasses
I don't think
Darth
we have
Vader
this one
helmet.
on our store. It's on my store.
You have your own store?
I do, but it's just it was from my Twitch channel.
I think
This
I
guy.
stole it and put it on our
Did you?
store.
You should have.
I'm pretty sure I did. Check it. Check it out. If
If-
it's not
if-
there
we'll
and you
get
want to buy it, let us know. We'll put it up there.
It's a really good shirt.
It's a nice shirt. And I'm sure you got fans out there that want to wear it. Represent
That's right.
Matt Vader 74. The man, the myth, the legend. All right. Let's get into it. The next movie on our list is Alligator. That's the title of the movie. It's just Alligator. So, Jude, take it away. What is this
Okay.
movie all about?
1980 Alligator, rated R with a runtime of 1 hour 34 minutes. Had a budget of $1,750,000. What do you think this brought into the box office?
It had $1.7 million budget.
Yes.
I'm going to say it made $2.3 million.
Vader?
$412,000.
$6.4 million.
Well, why don't we have 16 sequels to it?
What year did
1980.
no, not this movie.
Dino
Jaws.
Croc?
Jaws.
Oh, Jaws? Jaws
That
was
was
in the
79,
70s.
right?
Yeah.
79, and this is 80?
This is 1980, really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's riding the high of Spielberg's, because that's all I could think about when I was watching this movie. It was Jaws.
It's a total Jaws
It's a
ripoff.
Jaws ripoff, 100%.
I remember at some point in my childhood, my sister and I had watched this movie, and like for the rest of our lives, we talked about like, oh, what if there's an alligator in there when you went into the bathroom?
Yeah,
and this
yeah.
was just like a part of my child. This is why I'm such a weirdo. Like growing up, we would talk about like, there's probably an alligator in the toilet. Don't sit down on the toilet. The alligator's gonna eat your ass.
I remember hearing that same thing.
Yeah, and it became like a
legend.
like an
Like
urban
an urban
legend.
myth. Yeah.
Yeah, where like there's alligators in the sewers, and that's where this is where that came from.
Seriously?
Yeah, and
Yeah, this is the movie that started the whole like flushing alligators down the toilet thing.
Really? Wow, that's historical. Because I do remember hearing that when I was growing up. Like there's this like weird myth that alligators lived in the sewers and stuff.
yeah,
That's crazy. I didn't know this is where that came from though.
yeah. I have one sibling. She's my older sister, and there's like a handful of movies that like were pivotal in our childhood growing up,
Mhm.
and this is one of them.
Nice.
Was this was an actual theatrical release?
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. But back then they didn't have
What?
home video.
Really?
Yeah. Pretty
So,
awesome. All right,
are you ready?
synopsis.
I'm
Yeah.
just
Take it away, Jude.
crazy.
What do you get when you combine a toilet flushed alligator and a sewer full of dead growth experiment puppies? Hijinks and good, clean fun. Marissa's irate dad flushed her alligator when she was a young girl. Now she's Dr. Marissa, the leading expert in reptiles and helping follically challenged bad boy cop Robert Forster figure out what's lurking beneath the city's streets.
Did you just make fun of his balding head?
He makes fun of his own balding head the whole movie.
Well done. Continue.
In a twist no one saw coming, it's our old pet Ramon. Only he's way bigger than any alligator should be. He's been feeding on the remains of puppies the Evil Slate pharmaceutical company discarded in the sewer after injecting them with growth hormone. Now he's 40 feet long and outgrowing the tunnels. So he's taken his killing spree to the streets where he doesn't have to wait for his lunch to come to him.
Okay,
Excellent.
So wait a second.
Yeah.
Yes.
Again, she just blew my mind. All right. So
Her synopsis
You
are
didn't
all
get that it was Ramon?
So the synopsis from fuck, I've been drinking. So the alligator is a giant.
Wait. You're telling me that's an alligator?
No way.
So the alligator is like a mutant
Yes.
Yeah.
because it's been feeding on genetically enhanced dead dogs.
Yes. You didn't get that?
I just thought it was an alligator that got flushed into sewers and just grew and just started eating shit.
No. So here's what happened. So at the beginning of the movie, a little girl gets a pet alligator,
Right, I
pet
remember.
baby
Yeah,
alligator. The dad freaks out,
Right.
flushes it down the
I
toilet.
know alligator in my house.
Yeah.
He's like
alligator
unreasonably
first.
angry.
Classic 80s dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we cut to a medical research company that is paying the local pet shop owner to get them dogs because
Right.
He's like, I need puppies.
they've run out of like laboratory animals to do their testing on, and they're testing some type of growth hormone. And so like these dogs that keep missing from like the neighborhood end up dead, but they're like 3 times the size that they used to be before they got kidnapped.
Oh, that's right. Because there's like, man, that's a little dog. No, it's big. It's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, that lady's like,
was the
that looks
sweater."
like my dog, but he's like 3 times bigger.
And so like they've been disposing of these test subjects
Just throw them in the sewer.
by throwing them in the sewer where the baby alligator that was flushed down there feast on them.
So
And that hormone affects the alligator, makes him grow,
You just blew
but
my mind.
also makes
Correct.
him super hungry.
Yes.
my mind just got blown because we have some actual setup and payoff
Mm-hmm.
in this
This
show.
is not a
And that
terrible
was
movie.
because I did not like this fucking movie. I did not.
I loved this movie.
But
as a
now
kid.
that they're explaining it to me a little bit, it makes a little bit
So
more
you just
sense.
need to pay more attention when you watch these terrible movies.
I just think I need you to synopsize
Okay.
things for me a little bit
So
more.
so here's a little interesting kind of like trivia here. So basically, the original script for this movie was written by a guy named Frank Ray Pirelli, and his concept was that the alligator was downstream from a beer brewing factory, and the beer is what made it drunk enough to attack stuff. Now, this was meant to be a Jaws ripoff from the beginning.
Yeah.
And when the director Louis Teague came on board, he didn't like the script, and so he brought on one of Roger Corman's go-to screenwriters.
See? And he was like, you know what this script needs?
Roger
dead,
Corman.
Dead puppies.
Well, the guy he brought on, his name is John Sayles. Do you recognize John Sayles?
I do, but I don't know why.
So John Sayles wrote The Howling, but he also wrote Battle Beyond the Stars
Oh!
and a number of other like lesser known movies.
Okay.
But he's a pretty decent screenwriter. And so he came on and he basically threw away all of what Frank Pirelli did, except for the basic concept of the story, and rewrote it. And so like all the setup and payoff that Vader was talking about came from John Sayles.
Mm-hmm.
And Louis Teague, the guy who directed it, he directed Cujo, but he was also the first unit director who did all like the filming of the cars and stuff in Death Race 2000.
Nice.
This movie's even better than I thought.
See?
I like this movie.
Good.
Genuinely.
Really?
Yes. When I watched it, I was
I
like,
did not.
I mean, I clearly was like, okay, it's literally Jaws, but with an alligator.
Yeah.
Like slight differences here and there, but you got all the same characters, got all the same motivations. It's the same freaking movie.
You get your hunter.
Yeah, you got the hunter, you got the crazy hunter who's a little loopy, you got the
Mm-hmm.
cop who's like trying to convince everybody that he knows something everybody disagrees with.
I love an evil scientist.
You got the evil. Is there an evil scientist?
I mean, it's the evil pharmaceutical lab.
okay, yeah,
I mean,
yeah. And in Jaws, it was like the mayor of the town. or whatever.
Well, in the book Jaws, there was a mafia connection. in the
there it
town.
is. Anyway,
I felt like I was watching some kind of like weird cop drama TV show,
Like Law and Order with crocodiles.
like something like they would put on the movie of the week on Friday nights back
Yeah,
in
he
1980.
texted me in the week.
was
He was
like-
like, "Was this a TV movie?" I was like, "Nope."
No, because it was. Look, man, I'm sorry. This is a terrible movie. It's not good.
Well, this is definitely a product of its time because
Yeah.
like it feels like one of those like 70s exploitation films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the CG is way better in it than like the
there's
2004.
no CG.
There's no CG.
That's why I love it more, because there's no. This is all practical
No,
effects.
but
That giant alligator, they just built like a giant
Yeah.
rubber alligator
That
and
makes
had it
sense
like.
because I don't even think they did CG in the
No,
80s.
no,
Really.
definitely not.
Okay.
my issue is just how it looks like a cheap
It looks-
made for TV movie.
Yeah, grainy and shitty.
and that's why I think
So
that.
that's a filmmaker question that I got to ask Kadish. So like, what you got Jaws, which was the year before, but as far as quality goes, visual quality, Jaws is so much better than this movie.
Jaws also had a much bigger budget.
Did it?
Well,
This was 1.2 million or something like that.
1,750,000.
What was the budget on Jaws?
somebody look that up quick.
Somebody look
I'm
it
gonna
up.
look it up.
Google it.
I can't look
I
I think it might have been 6 to 8
So-
million.
Yeah.
that's still-
Okay,
but-
so is that like, is the extra $1 million just going into camera, like lenses and better
Plus, you have Spielberg.
equipment?
No, so here's the thing is that Spielberg, you know, as an auteur, like he made a lot of choices that made Jaws look the way it did. You can't really compare him to Louis Teague, who directed this film.
I'm not. I'm
Right.
just
Because basically they used a different type of film stock.
okay.
The cinematographer wasn't quite as good, so
Right.
everything's kind of like dark and muted.
7.
7
7
million.
million.
Sorry, I can't.
And then that was going over budget because originally I think it was budgeted for like 2 million or something like that.
I mean, if you guys go look at the shark
Yeah.
on the Universal whatever tour or whatever the backlot tour,
That shark looks like shit.
that shark looks like shit.
Yeah.
And if that was the actual thing that they used to make Jaws, that's
Well,
super
Bruce
impressive.
looked like shit too.
Well, here's the
Let's be
thing.
real.
So they actually built an animatronic alligator for this movie. And just like with Jaws, it didn't work.
Okay.
So what they did was they actually got a real alligator
Yep.
and made miniature sets
Yes.
to make him look bigger.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
That was
now,
great.
Now I'm impressed.
That was the same thing. I mean,
Yeah.
Spielberg kind of used more of like, don't show the shark until the very, very end. Like that
I
was
mean,
his
there
thing.
was definitely some
Well,
Jacques Cousteau cuts, actual like shark shots.
Yes,
in-
there's
in
stock
Jaws.
footage of sharks in Jaws.
And I think there might have been some animatronic or not animatronic, stop motion.
some
alligators.
puppeting, some guy's arms
Yeah.
in a puppet of a mouse,
Just
an
chomping away.
alligator.
In this movie, definitely.
Yeah.
yeah.
I love the black and white photos that the photographer took as he was
Yes.
getting eaten.
Yes, and it's all just teeth and like
It's
a mouth.
just all teeth.
Well,
Yeah.
there's this reporter who basically he's kind of hounding the new detective played by Robert Forrester, who had some thing where like his former partner in Chicago got murdered. So this reporter is kind of like hounding him. And when he finds out that he's investigating a possible crocodile in the sewers, he wants to go down there to prove that the guy's like a crackpot. And the alligator stalks him and eats him. And as he's eating him, the guy's like flailing around, his camera's going off, and he's getting all these pictures.
As cameras do when you're getting eaten.
Yeah, like old school cameras.
Yeah.
And so like he's getting evidence of the very thing that the policeman wanted in the first place as
Yeah.
he's dying.
As he went down there to debunk it,
Yeah,
he's
he's
getting
getting
evidence
eaten
of
by
it.
it,
Yeah.
It was. I had fun with this movie.
I like this movie.
I thought it was fine.
It reminds
I'm
me
like-
of my childhood.
I just was like, oh, this is like Jaws with an alligator.
fun.
Okay, cool. I'm
So-
in.
Yeah.
Let me ask this: who is this Robert Forrester dude?
I've seen him.
I'm
I know.
getting such like a Columbo
Spencer
vibe
for Hire?
No,
of
no.
this guy, but has he been
No.
in other stuff?
Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff. So Quentin Tarantino kind of resurrected his career with Jackie Brown,
Okay.
and
Okay.
he was in Breaking Bad. He's been in a ton of stuff.
That's who he is.
Yeah. So,
okay.
So he was like the guy who helped people disappear in Breaking Bad.
He helped Jesse Pinkman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah.
But funny story is that Bryan Cranston, his first job was as a PA on this movie.
No way.
And that was the first
Oh, wow.
time he met Robert Forrester, which led to Robert Forrester getting cast in Breaking Bad.
That's dope. I like this movie more now.
And what's funny is that so at this time Robert Forrester he was losing his hair. Like
Yeah, yeah.
You can see it thinning up
He's
top.
very thin in the front.
Yeah, and he used to make jokes about him, like self-deprecating jokes about him losing his hair all the time. And John Sayles liked those jokes so much that he wrote them into the the movie
Nice.
to kind of like make light of the fact that their leading man was balding. And like every time like it would call attention to it, I was just like, wow, he really is losing his hair.
Yeah.
But it's cool that the movie's actually, you know, acknowledging it, you know?
Yeah.
We didn't just spray paint his scalp.
I think it's funny that you guys like this movie. So
I thought it was
much more than me.
fine. I didn't
I
have any
just-
problems with it.
it
It's
was-
a goofy,
I had a hard time
like
getting through
schlocky monster movie, but it's like closer to Jaws than it is Dino Croc.
This is probably one of those kind of movies that I needed to be watching with you guys
Yes.
to enjoy it.
Yes.
Because it took me two sessions.
You watched this twice?
No, I
okay.
started it in the morning and I finished it at like midnight
Okay.
because I kept going back to it. and
That's
pressing
why you
play.
can't understand these movies, because you're like,
Well, I don't normally
spacing
do
it
that.
apart.
I only do that on movies that I really get bored with or
Okay.
just really dislike.
all right.
Well, you know, what's
So-
interesting, Vader, is that James Horner was originally supposed to score this movie.
But would have sounded exactly like Rattle Khan.
Probably, but basically there was like some type of strike going on and he couldn't record the score. So instead they just used Jerry Goldsmith clips from the Twilight Zone and the Invaders to score the film.
That's kind of weird.
So I really liked the part, I think it was a wedding or something like that. Some
Yeah,
party
it was a
event or
par-
whatever.
I think it was a wedding.
Was
yeah.
it a wedding?
Oh,
Okay.
that was the best part of the
That was the
movie.
best part of the movie, dude. It was so funny. Watch this freaking alligator come walking, trotting through the, and just like eating people as it goes, like freaking Pac-Man. Just like, and then it goes-
when it destroyed the limo.
yes, it just smashed it with its tail.
I was just like, I'm like, man, how did they film this?
It
Because
hated
they
that
just keep
limo.
on showing the old dude in the limo getting crushed a
Crushed.
little bit
Yeah,
closer.
that dude had it
It's a
coming.
little farther. A little
Yeah, he was a
farther. It's
dick.
like, oh,
How about when the two kids are playing like blind man something or pirates or something with the other little kid and he walks him out on the diving board
Yes.
and
They
pushes
literally
him off
murdered that
and
little
then
kid.
kill another kid.
Another movie that killed a kid. That was
she's
epic.
Like, she's like, Jesse, where are you?
And it's just
Jesse's
blood.
dead.
Jesse's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, they just killed that
They
kid.
killed
Yeah.
the kid brutally. Like Jaws killed a kid, but it was off
What?
screen.
Listen,
They
what
never
is-
showed it.
What is it about us killing kids?
I don't
all the
know,
time?
dude.
Alex is rubbing off on
It's
that.
just, it's just so shocking when it happens, and we
Stupid
watch a
kids.
lot of movies.
But in this movie, like the kid was like, "No, don't
Oh.
stop!" please." Like he was begging for
Yes.
his life, and
That
the kids
was-
were like, "Ha ha ha!" And they pushed him off into the pool.
That was so cold, dude. Yeah, they were playing pirates.
Yeah.
And they're like, walk him out that plank. And the kid's like, no, please, I don't want to swim. I don't know how or whatever. And they walk him out and then they push him in. And then the alligator just comes up and it's just red.
Well, the alligator by this point he had broken through the concrete of the sidewalk, coming out of the
Oh, that
sewer.
was epic.
yeah,
so bad.
like the Kool-Aid Man just bursts through.
Yeah, and he was just like chilling out in this pool, and these kids decide to like throw this other kid into the pool, and he sees the alligator. He's like, "No, stop!" And they like push him in anyway. It's crazy.
Epic. Love it.
But the actor or the hunter in this movie is played by Henry Silva. He plays Colonel Brock. And he's the creepiest hunter I think we've seen in these three movies. Like whenever he's one of those guys, his face is just like weird. You know, he's like tall and like weird looking. And the guy who plays the police chief, his name is Michael Gazzo. And the entire time I'm watching this movie, I'm like, where do I know him from? And I'm like, he was the rat in The Godfather, the guy who kills himself before
okay.
testifying.
It's got some legacy actors in this.
But I kept waiting for the moment where he would pull the samurai cop, where he's like you sons of bitches, and just
Yeah.
like stay there.
I kept waiting for him to have an irate police chief moment.
Yeah.
And the closest he ever comes is like, "There's nothing I can do. Give me your gun and badge. You're out of here."
Yeah.
And then he
He's
just
so-
kind of like walks
He
off.
just leaves.
He's so chill about it. He's like, "You're fired."
Whatever. I got told
Have
by
a
my
good day.
boss. Yeah.
Like he's like, "I know this movie's a piece of
Yeah.
shit, so I'm not going to put any
You
effort
poke
into
too
it."
many bees' nests.
All right.
Yeah.
Vader, final thoughts.
Is this where we grade the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys, but this is another big old fat.
Another butthole?
It's another butthole.
Oh,
You
no.
are
It's it's a chocolate starfish. It's a 1-star crap fest. It's a piece of
Oh,
garbage.
man.
Yeah, no, I did not like this movie.
Wow. Okay.
Sorry, it's just.
Do you have
it's terrible.
What broke you? What was it that
Just-
you're just
it's-
like,
I don't like the way it was filmed. It feels like a cheap made-for-TV movie.
yeah.
There was too
You
much.
really don't like this.
There was too much time spent in the dark sewer water. It was dumb. I did not like it. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
No, you don't have to
It's
apologize.
one star.
1 star.
1 star butthole fest. Yeah, it was bad. Bad. I'm sorry. That's all I got to say. It
Okay.
was terrible.
Jude, how about you?
There's one more scene I want to talk about
Go for
before
it.
I
Yeah,
rate it. I want to talk about the love scene. So
the what?
there's a part when Dr. Marissa and Robert Forster
Okay.
are just like chilling in his apartment or something. And he says like, listen, I want to fuck you, but we got to go to dinner and I'm going to be wondering the whole time if you're going to fuck me.
I
So
do, yes,
can you
I
just
remember.
let me know now before we go to dinner
like,
if you're going to like, and she's like, I'm going to fuck you. And then they don't even go to dinner. They just bang.
I can respect that.
Yes,
It's like
I do remember
I
that.
actually would count. So before I go out and spend $100 on dinner, is it going to be worth my dime to like feed you before we come home and bang, or are we not going to come home?
Should
and
I
bang?
bother to feed you?
And she's totally like, I get it. It's
Because
cool.
She's like, you should totally feed me.
if we're not going to bang,
That
you can just
dick.
go home now.
It's like, buy me some lobster bisque. We'll be good to go.
I like that. I like the direct approach.
Yes.
You just go to the chick in the bar and go, hey, you want to fuck? And that's it, right?
Robert Forster has this great line where he's like pillow talking her, and he's like, "You're smart, you're
And you got great
educated, and you
tits."
got great tits."
He does say that.
Can't say what.
Dude, the lines in this movie are great. How could you not love this movie, dude?
That's bad.
All right. Jude, what's you give it for a rating?
3 out of 5. Are you going to fuck me if I feed you?
3 out of 5. Wow.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Right on. Matthew Kadish, final thoughts. Give it a rating.
All right, so this movie stands out as one of the few feature films I've ever seen that had a star wipe in it.
Like Star White?
A star
that?
wipe.
Can you explain that for the normies?
So you know, there's a transition in films called a wipe. You see it
Yeah.
a lot in Star Wars, where it just kind of like the next scene just kind of comes in from like the side.
Mm-hmm.
And in the 80s, they started doing these crazy different wipes where like if you ever had like a video editor that you edited from tape deck to tape deck, they had all these different wipes you could do, like, you know, up, down, sideways, diamond, and then the star wipe, which was like, you know, a star kind of comes out from the middle.
Like Vader's chocolate buttholes.
Yes, exactly.
1 star. I think we have that in Adobe. We could probably do that for him.
It's kind of standard, but in The Simpsons, they made a joke of it because it's like star wipe and we're clear. And so like the star wipe became a meme in the mid 90s. So like every time you'd see a star wipe, it was in the embodiment of novice editors, where like they'd be like, oh, look at all these wipes we could use. And the star wipe was the really fancy one.
Yeah.
Well, in this one, when they're showing like the montage of the newspapers talking about this crazy monster alligator that's loose, they're doing all these different wipes, and the final one is a star wipe. And I saw that, I was like, whoa, I've never seen that in a feature film before.
That's crazy.
So this movie stands out as one of the few feature films I've ever seen a star wipe in.
I love it when Matt
Nerds out.
nerds out about that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I
like it
really
too.
do. It's so cool.
I'm going to find that star wipe in Adobe and I'm going to use it on you the next
Yeah.
time. 1 star crap fest.
So I was actually surprised at how competent this movie was. Like, I did not go into it thinking it was going to be very good, but I thought Robert Forster was fantastic. I loved watching him.
Fantastic.
He's got charisma, baby.
Really?
Dude,
I like him.
Come on, man. You're beautiful. You're smart. And you got great tits.
The only thing I don't like about this is like how it looks, but because it's from the 80s, like I
Yeah.
think that I hate reboots, but this deserves a reboot.
Yeah, I mean, technically this was shot in the 70s.
Yeah.
So,
I
but-
don't get you guys
but
on this.
Don't worry
one.
about it.
but also like there's a scene where Colonel Brock, like he's tracking the alligator in like the middle of the city, and he recruits these gang members
Yeah.
to like help him out, and they're all like, yo, blood, what's happening?
And like in the next scene, there's just a bunch of cars on fire.
Yeah.
Well,
and the
well,
alligator eats everybody.
well, no. So like the alligator's like hiding in an alley, and Colonel Brock is trying to convince like his 3 gang members to come with him to hunt this thing, and they're like, "What are you, crazy? No way!" and so he goes in alone, and he instantly dies.
Yeah.
And the 3 black guys who he hired to help him out they just like run away.
And then some kid sees it like rolling down the alley and runs in and grabs his mom's bread knife and like runs out with a knife.
That's
like,
right.
I'm gonna kill this
Yes,
thing.
I do remember that. I'm like, where does he think he's
Oh.
Never
going?
saw him again.
I'm just,
Dead.
I'm just trying to picture a 40-foot alligator hiding in an alley.
Yeah, he was
He was hiding,
he-
standing really still.
He was covered in trash, and he was just like waiting.
That's
waiting,
literally what they do. They
He's
float and they don't move.
He's like Dave Bautista. He
Yeah.
just moves so
oh,
slowly that you
we'll
can't
talk about
see
the
him.
floating and standing still in the next movie. All right.
But Colonel Brock was one of the creepiest characters. Like the first time he meets Marissa, is that her name?
Dr. Marissa.
Dr. Marissa.
How dare you?
Yeah.
He
That's
PhD.
kind of a cool name.
like he just starts sleazing on her, and it's really creepy. It makes Robert Forster look super smooth in
Yeah.
comparison.
Like Robert Forster is like, you got great tits.
Yeah.
And the hunter guy is like, you got great.
So, how many? She's got to wipe the spit off her lips.
I
She's like,
spit on
"Ugh."
myself.
She's really got in character for that one.
So overall, like I was actually impressed with the screenplay for this movie. I thought they did a really good job with this. It's very much a product of its time. I know that Vader doesn't like that, but I've
I
seen
don't hate that.
I've
I
seen
just
so
don't
many
like this
60s
movie.
and 70s style movies that like it didn't bother me. So I'd give this one a solid like 2 stars out of 5.
Okay.
Well, that's not very strong endorsement.
That's not strong, but I mean, it's
2
better
stars.
It's a strong 2, though.
than. Yeah. Well, you gave it a 3.
I
So
give
we're-
it a
we're-
strong
so-
2 star wipes out of
So
5.
I'm a 1, she's a 3, so we're at 2.
Okay.
You better like come in low.
I'm going to give this a 5-star just to piss you off.
Don't tell him what to do.
I'm going to overreact and tell you that you're wrong. No, there was a scene that I really thought was kind of fun because I was watching it, and it was when the nightmare sequence where the whole screen is just red and black, and he's like watching his friend die, and he's like, Kelly, and it's his
It
friend.
wasn't even his friend. It was just a rookie
just
who
some
agreed to come with him.
Some dumb rookie cop
Yeah, he's
that
getting
played
eaten.
a joke on him like 30
Right.
seconds ago.
Yeah.
Throw the red food coloring in the water now. Yeah.
It was. I liked that moment. I thought it was kind of cool. Look, it had that nice thriller horror type thing going on. I was in for
If
it.
I was 7, that would have messed me up, that scene. Yeah, I get it.
Are you calling me 7?
Kind of.
Okay. Whatever. Anyway,
Whatever.
it's. I'm gonna go with Jude. It's 3-star.
Oh
Yay!
my god.
I like this movie. I had fun with it. I know
Yeah,
it's a
fun.
Jaws ripoff.
It's fun.
I don't care. It's fun.
Nobody went into this thinking this is going to like change your life or
Yeah.
anything,
Yeah.
but it's fun.
I mean, that final that final scene where the alligator just rampages through that wedding and just starts eating people left and right, destroying cars and stuff. That was pretty good.
It was good, and
Talk
I have
about a limo.
and I give it props for doing the miniature sets with the live alligator, and then when it's in public, they have the giant animatronic thing that's like chomping away. You know, for the time, that's cool. That's what they had to do. That's what they did. You know, same thing with Bruce and Jaws.
I did enjoy the scene where he destroyed the car.
And the kid, they ate a kid. That's a 1/2 star easily on there. Just not
But
good
it's
because
just it wasn't as cool as the first one.
they did it on screen, bro.
Yeah.
Like full view.
But his head
Horrific
didn't,
death.
His head didn't go flying.
No, the head didn't go flying. Roger Corman's got that.
You gotta have the head flying around.
God, that's brutal.
They were also dressed
Yeah.
as pirates when they did that.
Another 1/2 star. There you go. So there's your 3.
Whatever.
I had fun. It's on YouTube. It's free. Go check it out. It's worth watching just
I mean,
for like a
I think
dumb
it's worth the
movie.
watch.
It is
Yeah.
free, right?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
free. Absolutely.
Both of
free.
these last 2 movies have been on YouTube for
Yeah,
free.
just
Yeah.
relive
Which should
the
say
80s.
something. Which should actually say something about how crappy these movies are.
So it's so bad that the companies who made it don't even want to bother
No,
copyright
no.
claiming it. They're like,
no.
you guys can have it.
You guys just watch it.
We could just
Okay.
play both movies the entire time we talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah, we
And
won't
not-
get copyright
and not get
claim.
Copyright claim.
You don't have to stick to the 5-second rule. Great. Excellent. All right.
Are we going to talk about Betty White now?
Yes, we are going to talk about Betty White. Next up, guys, stay tuned. We're talking about Lake Placid. And we're going to be right back after a word from our sponsors and messages and YouTube algorithm stuff. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back. If you guys want to chat with us about goofy Roger Corman movies, go to saltynerddiscord.com. There you can have access to our Discord chat where we talk all things movies. There's tons of different I don't know what they're called,
Channels.
subject channels in our server. You can pick whatever one you want, hop in there and chat with us. Our patrons are very active in there. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. We have a lot of fun talking about all kinds of things. So
The thing is, they're all in the patron only.
not always. We hang out there and I have a
It's
good
like-
time. That's my place. That's where I go for social media interaction with everybody. So head over there, saltynerddiscord.com. All right. Lake Placid. Jude, take it away.
All right. 1999, Lake Placid, rated R with a runtime of 1 hour, 27 minutes. Had a budget of $27 to $35 million. What do you think this brought in?
How much?
What?
27 to 35.
Is it like a mystery or something?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
We
like, I
do-
think they were budgeted for 27 and hijinks ensued, and then they ended up spending 35.
Okay.
Huh.
Kate, does you have anything to add to that?
Nope.
Okay, good.
What year did this come out?
99.
99.
So
99, baby.
okay.
Before the Roger Corman
I'm on the
dino
ground,
crop.
baby.
Yes.
That's so bad.
Yeah.
I know.
That's telling you something.
What do you
Mm-hmm.
think this brought in?
58 million.
Fee?
I'm probably 55 to 60.
You guys.
Yeah.
$56.9
Yeah.
million.
Fist
All
bump.
right. We got one right.
We got one
That's
right.
like the first time ever.
It might be. We're
First
really
time
bad
ever.
at this
It's the
game.
power of the
years.
vagina juice.
That's very smart. Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Betty White just wants to live her life and feed her pet giant crocodile, but the Department of Wildlife and an eccentric hunter named Hector are cock-blocking her retirement plans. They're on the hunt for the prehistoric behemoth and determined to capture it before it kills any more of the Black Lake residents. They set traps, track its sonar, and attempt to lure it with the sultry sounds of baby crocs, but all that does is piss it and Betty White off. She doesn't want them to kill her pet and tells the sheriff to S or D, which gets her put on house arrest. They borrow a cow and set one final trap for the colossal croc, ensnaring it when, turns out it's not the only croc monster in town. Written by David E. Kelly.
Man, listen. I love sweary Betty White.
Yes!
She cracks me up.
Suck
I think
my
you're- I
dick,
think-
Officer
I
so-and-so.
think you're just a cocksucker.
What's she call her? She's like Officer Fuckstick.
Yes. I'm glad we waited till now because the booze is starting to kick
I
in.
told you.
Yeah.
There's a method to my madness.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man.
This movie is
dude.
bonkers.
It's so funny. Okay, so I was thinking about this. I'm like, what is this? Because it tries to be a thriller because it has jump scares and it has the right music and it has all the right things for a thriller.
It's Lake Placid.
But it's too funny.
It's just its own thing.
It's
man.
too comedic to be a thriller. It has to be like a comedy.
It's so well acted.
I need
Oh my-
I need to go watch the sequels now.
yeah.
There's sequels?
Oh, there's like 3 or 4,
Yeah.
right?
But they're not this-
They're not this good?
No,
Okay.
no. And I don't think anyone from this one are in any of the sequels.
So I
Yeah,
think
no one from this movie is associated with any of this.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Bridget Fonda is so cute
She
and,
is.
and
Is it the
adorable.
museum chick?
Yes.
Okay.
She's adorable.
I found her incredibly annoying.
Really? Well, she's
Yes.
supposed to be.
But this is the thing, like, there's two characters that I can think of, or one character that I always thought of when I saw her in this movie, and I'm like, oh, she reminds me of the chick from Temple of Doom, who's just
Okay.
constantly screaming, ah!
Especially in the first half.
Yes, the
of
first,
movie.
definitely the first half of the movie.
But
That's
it's
what it
also
reminded me of.
really funny when she's like, don't throw heads
Yeah,
at me.
everybody's throwing heads at me. Don't call me ma'am.
So funny. That's so funny.
I'll sue you. And in today's laws, I think I could do it. It's funny stuff. It's really
Yeah.
funny. But what really saved this movie for me, not saved, but like what really brought this over the top and made it way better than the other two, Oliver Platt
Yes.
and the cop guy. What's the actor?
Brendan Gleeson.
Brendan Gleeson. Those two together on screen are freaking hilarious
Yes.
from start to finish. Brendan Gleeson is amazing in this movie. I love him.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
And
he's
like,
the sheriff, right?
Yeah, sarcastic and funny, huh?
and Oliver Platt is just like cracking nonsensical jokes. And he's like,
Yes.
she tell you we fucked? And she's like, no, we didn't. He's
Oh.
like, they never remember I'm terrible in bed.
I love Oliver Platt in this. Though.
Oh my God, he's so good.
weird.
So funny.
Yes,
And
I
he's
love him.
just like hitting on everyone, but it's working.
What's really
Yeah.
one of my favorite lines in this movie when they're having that little like tent house party,
Yeah.
and the sheriff comes in to break it up, and he's like, "Can she stay? We wanted to mate." The cop's just like, "No." It's so freaking hilarious.
It's really
dude.
fun.
I'll tell you, this movie, it hooked me. It hooked me in the first 5 minutes
Yeah,
when the fish and wildlife guy gets pulled up into the boat.
and he's only
he's-
half
and
there.
there's only half of him there. That was like the gnarliest thing I've seen on a movie in forever. I'm like, wow, that is fucking gross. And it's just like he's just sitting here,
He's still alive.
and he's dead, and he dies.
Oh, it's so gross.
like,
It's
oh.
gruesome.
There's like his
And the
on-
sheriff doesn't even react. He's just like, "Huh?
Oh yeah.
Oh shit."
I'm like, okay, this movie.
I think we got a bigger problem than beavers.
Yeah, yeah. I'm in. I'm in. This is it. This is the one. We watched these other two terrible fucking movies.
Yeah.
But
This is the one.
this is the payoff.
Yeah.
This
For my
movie
week.
is the reason why I chose the other two movies because I wanted to watch this
Yeah.
movie.
This movie is probably not that good, but compared to the other two pieces of crap we watched,
It's amazing.
It's a masterpiece.
It's really fun.
It's
Guys,
Oscar
our
winner.
star review, like final count or whatever, is heavily influenced by the best movie in the three and how much alcohol we had.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, yeah, dude, this movie is so fun. The best joke, again, Oliver Platt.
It was funny.
The freaking sheriff says something to him. I was like, he's got a mouth, like a scuba diving mouthpiece. Like, yeah, why don't you chew the bark off my big fat log?
And he like dives in, and the sheriff's like, "Was that a gay joke?"
Was that a homosexual joke? God damn it.
Dude, Brendan Gleeson owns this movie.
Yes.
He really did.
Like,
So
there's so
good.
many
Really
parts
did.
like when they hold up the toe that they recovered, and
Yes.
they're like, is this the man that you saw get eaten? He's like, he seemed taller. And
Here's your friend.
yeah, and like the entire time, like throughout this movie, it starts off with people being sarcastic to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like he doesn't get a break the entire movie. Everyone's just so shitty to him.
But he's a
constantly.
jerk to the whole movie too.
I love it though.
But the great thing about like him and Oliver Platt's thing is, so Oliver Platt keeps setting all these traps for the alligator, and Brendan Gleeson keeps falling into them.
Why are you digging holes in the middle of the night? He's still swinging his big fat wang around. He's scaring the shit out of me.
Yeah, and it's just like whenever they have like a super serious scene, like Brendan Gleeson just like walks away triumphantly, and then he like gets caught in a trap, and he just like crack the fuck up. It's so funny.
That one scene where they were fighting, he's like, I know karate, all right? Go ahead, take your best shot. And he punches him in the face. And he's like, you're supposed to say go. Aren't you supposed to say go when you're fighting karate? And he's like, yeah, as in go fuck yourself. Dude. And then by the end of the movie, they're friends.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Buds.
There's things about this movie. There's like, it has the jump scares and
Yeah.
it has the weird, they were actually they worked in this movie.
Yeah.
There's a couple things in the world that I really dislike immensely. One of them is dark, deep water.
Okay. Like, you actually you're afraid of it.
I do not like it.
Okay.
I have never been on a cruise ship. I'm never going to be on a cruise
You
ship.
sound like my wife.
Dark, deep water freaks me out, and heights freak me out. This movie had dark, deep, murky pond water.
Yep.
It's the grossest thing in the world. So like even little stupid things like beavers make me jump.
Did you
The-
jump?
The beaver made me jump. It really did. I'm like, oh shit, beaver. And I can appreciate that. The beaver made me jump. That's a t-shirt, by the way. And,
It goes along with our Zombiever t-shirt that we have.
I almost wore that today.
beaver.
Goddamn beavers! So many beavers in this lake.
Goddamn beaver.
Oh, the alcohol has hit hard.
There's one thing I can't stand about this town is all the damn beavers.
But what those other movies did poorly, this movie did correctly.
Yeah.
All right. I jumped a little bit. I was into the characters. They were fun.
Yeah.
But they were also, I kind of like got them.
Yeah.
Even
Brandon Gleeson?
no, the other
Oliver Platt?
No, the
Bill
other
Pullman.
guy.
Bill Pullman.
Bill
Yeah.
Pullman. I even like Bill Pullman's
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, he's great.
Even though I feel like he kind of got buried a little bit.
For sure.
He's supposed to be the love interest, but he completely got like. The
Oliver,
other guys
Oliver
are way more
Platt
interesting.
and Gleason stole this movie.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
They are the
That's
heart.
the
And
true
Betty White.
love connection
Yeah,
in this
yes,
movie.
exactly.
And
They
Betty
spent
White.
more time on their relationship than they did on the chick and the
Yeah.
fishing game guy.
Yeah.
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 But,
It's great, dude.
These creepy mountain lakes with the stumps and the dark water. It's like we used to hike up to these things.
You grew up in that kind of environment,
yeah,
huh?
up in the Cascades. There's
Yeah.
all these little like weird trout ponds that are just like this thing, and they always freaked me out because I always wondered if there was something staring back at me while I'm casting from underneath that dark, murky, black ass water, and I'm like, ugh. It's like I just want to go home. I don't even want to eat these trout that I'm catching out of this thing.
Oh man. What other the freaking scene where the park ranger got his head bit off and he's like twitching.
Oh yeah.
He's still like moving around.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
like,
it was
oh my
nervous.
god.
Like the death effects in this
Oh.
are really good. Yeah.
Good
And
shit.
that was like the first reveal of the croc.
Ye-
For like half a second, he jumps up and snaps that guy's
Yeah.
head off.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa, shit! And You knew it was coming, but you still like jumped out of your seat a little bit. This movie did it correctly.
Yes, I agree.
It did it right. It made you jump, and that's what I'm looking for when I watch these kind of movies. You know.
Let's talk origin with our favorite character, Betty White.
Okay.
So what had happened was,
Well, she's that bitch Carol Baskin,
yes,
But for crocodiles.
but for crocodiles.
Whoa, nice connection.
yeah, she's
We
the-
know somebody who knows somebody who knows Carol
your best
Baskin.
friend, crazy cat lady. Yeah, so she's the croc mom.
Mhm.
And it followed her husband home from a fishing trip. So it's very mysterious. We don't have like an evil scientist in this one. The croc followed her husband home on a fishing trip, and she's been feeding it for 6 years, and it accidentally ate her husband.
Yeah. Yeah, I love how she defends it. Like, it was an accident. He
Yeah.
didn't mean to do
And they're
it.
like, "Why did you lie to the
But
police?" And she's like, "Well, I don't want you to kill my pet."
The lie that she told them in the beginning was freaking gold.
Hilarious.
She's like, well, he was really sick, and he just kept asking me to kill him, so eventually I did, and I hit him on the head with a skillet. It's just like,
She's like, "And I buried him. If you don't believe me, go dig him up." She's like, "They're not gonna dig him up."
only Betty White can get away with saying
It's
something like
like
that.
they should have
amazing.
put her in cuffs right then and there, right?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't. The sheriff was right there. Yeah, 100%.
She's like,
But no, they're like,
she's like, "I killed my husband," and he's like, "You probably won't hurt anyone else. We're gonna get out of here."
it's great. That's awesome. I can't think. Again, I just gonna gush over Oliver Platt. He's got to be my favorite actor in this movie.
Oh, Hunter, yeah.
He's so good.
For sure.
The scene where the sheriff is hanging, and
In one of his traps.
in one of the traps,
Yeah.
it's so freaking funny, dude.
No,
And like
the-
before they let him go, they're like, do you
gonna-
promise you're not gonna hurt Oliver Platt?
I
He's
don't
like,
want to ever look at him again.
Yeah,
and then he gets up and he's
I'm
like,
not
I
gonna hurt
lied.
him. Yeah.
he goes after him.
well, my favorite scene, and I'm probably jumping ahead here,
Oh, you can jump over.
is when they're trolling with the cow.
Oh, yeah.
when they have it in the helicopter.
They have it hanging.
They're trolling with a live cow.
Uh-huh.
And it's
hanging
not.
over the edge of the water. And he's all,
How did they do that scene? Because that was not a fake cow.
So they had the cow by a crane,
Oh,
and then
brutal.
they CGI'd in the helicopter.
Poor fucking
Poor cow.
He's all, let me out of here.
That cow was not having a good time.
Gleason's like, it's trying to swim.
It's like this poor ass cow hanging over the water, and it's like,
Oh,
where's
my God.
PETA? PETA's gotta be, they gotta be saying something.
They're going to be
about
freaking out over
scene.
this movie.
How many hours and cuts did they have to take of this stupid ass cow?
Sitting there dunking it. That one chick's like, he looks like a giant tea bag.
They're waterboarding this cow, right? It was just.
That's probably not even the actors acting. They were just like, film you guys reacting to what we're doing over here.
Yeah.
As growing up on a farm, I felt bad for the cow.
She was probably gonna kill that cow anyway.
And they just want it to get eaten. And it's gonna the alligator's gonna come up and chomp it and probably bite part of its leg off. So it's gonna be suffering at that point. It was
Oh,
just like,
God.
oh God. It was
I didn't even think to look for it, but there's got to be a statement at the end credits, like how many
The cow made it.
Yeah.
no real animals were harmed during the
No
filming of this
cows
movie.
were injured during
Yeah.
the teabagging scene.
It was unreal.
Freaking movie's great.
This was fun. This was a fun movie.
It's a fun movie.
I had a blast watching. I watched it twice. I had so much
Really?
fun.
Twice?
Yeah, I watched it
Aw.
twice
Wow.
because I wanted to get those the lines from Gleason and Platt. Like, I was just like, these guys are freaking gold, dude.
Was this a first watch for everybody but me?
No, I've seen it.
I've seen this
Okay.
movie, but it might as well have been because it's been 20 years
Okay.
since I've seen it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Kadish, you haven't said
This
anything
was-
in a while. What did you think about this movie?
I love this movie.
Okay.
So David E. Kelley was the writer on this movie. And if you don't know who that is, so like he's a very prolific TV producer. He did The Practice, Ally McBeal, Boston Legal. He's been all over TV, and he is a very, very good writer. Like I'm just amazed at like how much he can pump out, but also make good. And you can see like all the character stuff in this movie is just textbook David E. Kelley. Like he's known for like the dialogue, the witty dialogue, and
The quipping back and forth.
yeah,
is
the
just perfection.
quipping, the quirky female characters, and the romance, and like all this stuff. So when the movie started, like I hadn't seen this movie, like I had forgotten I had seen it. So like I saw it back in 1999, and I think it was on HBO when I saw it.
Okay.
But I liked it back then. And I'd just forgotten about it because I'm not a big alligator guy. Like I don't watch movies with like reptiles and stuff in them. So when Jude made me sit down to watch this, I was like, I don't remember this movie. Like I don't like alligators. So, but when I saw his name come up as the writer, I was like, oh.
See, he actually pays attention to the opening credits, whereas I'm like, fast forward.
But then I started seeing the cast and I was like, wow, this is a really good cast. And as the movie started going along and you got like the dialogue and the interactions with the characters and all this other stuff, like I was
You got on board.
I got on board pretty quick. So like I had a really good time. This was definitely the best movie of the three that we watched.
For sure.
Easily.
Stan Winston was the one who handled the crocodile effects.
That makes sense.
In this movie.
That tracks.
So like they made an animatronic alligator for this film and it actually worked. Like it's it worked underwater, did all this stuff. It went from salt water to still water. It's just like everything in this movie seemed to work. And I'm actually surprised that like it doesn't have like a bigger kind of like fan base than it currently does. I mean, the only person I really know who obsesses over this movie is Jude.
You got three more.
I remember seeing it when it first came out and not liking it as much as I do now.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's just gotten better with time.
I agree.
Yes.
I think it has, this movie has gotten into a campy place. It could be a cult movie.
It could be.
I think.
If more people talked about it.
Sure. Yeah. I think it was meant to be some kind of blockbuster, which it's not.
No.
But it is definitely a movie that holds up.
Yeah.
And one of the things I liked about this movie is that they don't bother to really explain the alligator. They're just like, it's a 30-footer. We've never seen one that big.
It's a mystery.
It might have come from China.
It might have swam across the ocean, Matt.
Oh, that was another one of the great lines too. I've never heard of a crocodile crossing in the ocean. Well, they hide that kind of information in books. You son of a bitch!
Yeah, and
That's so good.
Like I love that they kind of leave that ambiguity in there where they don't just explain everything away, and the whole twist with Betty White being like the croc mom and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of stuff in this movie that just like works, and there's never a lull to this movie. Like sometimes movies can like slow down and drag in the middle. And this movie, it was just like you go from one scene to the next and there's always something interesting in going on in that scene.
Yeah.
And one of the things I really liked is how they build the tension. So like they have this kind of like, not trope, but like technique where when the alligator's near, all these fish in the lake start going crazy, they get scared. And so like there's this like visual representation of, oh, the croc's coming, and it's not like the Jaws done, but it's just as effective.
Well, there is some music.
Yeah,
in there
there is, but my point is that like there's a cue that lets you know that the croc is nearby, because the entire first 2/3 of this movie, like we don't see the crocodile,
right,
or the alligator, whatever you want to call it.
It's a crocodile.
Yeah, and there's a scene where Bridget Fonda like gets knocked out of the boat and she's swimming. And all of a sudden, those fish start going crazy, and you're just like, "Oh no, oh no!"
Dude, the scene.
Oh god, where my heart goes.
The scene where
It did its job then.
No.
I can't remember which character it was, but they were under the water and they were hiding behind the big stump, and the thing came and like bit the stump.
Yeah, that's Bridget Fonda.
That was legit. I was like, "Oh, that's a freaking good effect," because it looks like
This
pretty
bitch
fucking
keeps
real.
getting knocked into the water.
I know, right?
I went through this whole movie remembering that I'd watched this thing 20 years ago, but remembering nothing about it. But for some reason, I thought Oliver Platt died.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought because I knew the alligator was going to come up and grab the helicopter, and at least one of those people in the helicopter were going to die.
None
but
of our main characters
they
died.
didn't.
Now that you mention it, I remember him dying in this movie too. Is that like what is it called?
Did you jump timelines?
Is that like a Mandela effect? Yeah, where I'm like,
because I was 100% sure that he was going to die at some point in this movie.
I thought he died at the end too.
Legit thought I remembered that.
Not when he was in the water, but after that at night when the helicopter actually crashes.
Yeah,
that's when I thought he died. Gosh, I thought it was like a Samuel L. Jackson thing from Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah, I don't know.
Where like came up and bit him.
It was weird.
Well, what's interesting is that so basically the alligator or crocodile, whatever you want to call it, it eats the helicopter that they were hanging the cow by. The cow gets away just fine, but it takes the helicopter.
Thank God.
And the helicopter,
I was worried about that cow.
Yeah. And when the alligator tries to crawl through the helicopter, it gets trapped by the helicopter's like carcass. And they're able to basically trank the alligator in order, because they wanted it was such a
unique specimen.
Yeah, wonder of nature that they didn't want to kill it.
And then
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of this film, Brendan Gleeson has like this super rifle where he's like, one shot from this thing, that alligator's dead, no matter how big it is. And so the entire movie, like you have Chekhov's gun, which is basically if you introduce a gun in the first scene, you have to have it go off by the last scene.
Right.
And in this movie, when you're talking about the Mandela effect, so there's a scene where they have the crocodile captured, it's knocked out, you think everything's fine. And then, shocker, a new crocodile shows up and it's about to eat Oliver Platt. Brendan Gleeson uses that gun to kill that crocodile.
See,
just like that.
That was the thing, man, because I thought, okay, I know there's 2 crocodiles.
I forgot about
but
the
I was
second one.
thinking maybe I'm getting part 2 mixed up with part 1 because I haven't watched part 2 in 20 years.
I don't know
either.
that I've ever seen.
I don't know.
part 2.
I remember. I think I watched it, but I remember nothing about
here's
it.
the thing: the last
But
scene in this film
I
is
feel like I remember.
Let him
I feel like I remember a scene where Betty White dragged a cow down there, and there was 2 crocodiles on the beach.
no. So
I'm getting
when
them
when
mixed
she
up.
fed the cow, it was the one big crocodile. But at the very end of the movie,
Right.
She's dangling her feet in the water, feeding all the baby crocodiles that the huge crocodile had.
And there was 2 of them, right?
No, there were like 6.
Yeah, there's a
Sick,
whole
really?
bunch
That
of
many?
little tiny
Yeah.
baby ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, you had the big daddy crocodile and the big mama crocodile, and they could have been switching off. Like, we could have
Yeah.
seen both of them throughout the movie. We just didn't know.
Baby crocodile.
Oh,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun.
and so by the end, like, they kill the smaller of the 2 crocodiles. They capture the big one. They ship that off to some
Secret lab.
not secret lab,
SeaWorld.
some conservatory in Florida or whatever.
Oh yeah,
And-
the Florida Fishing Game Show.
And basically they leave the movie with the idea that like there are all these other crocodiles that Betty White's kind of fostering, and they're going to eventually get big and cause
Yeah.
trouble.
They're totally gonna eat Betty White in the next one.
I've never seen the second one. All right, well, that was a fantastic discussion. I had a lot of fun. Vader, favorite moment, because I think you should have one for this one,
Favorite moment?
and give it a rating.
I just like the grizzly bear scene was pretty cool.
Oh, that was dope. Yeah.
Yeah.
remember
Where the crocodile eats the bear.
Yeah. With I like the kill scenes.
And the bear was like, oh, yeah.
It's
Sounded like it was
okay,
it was
wow.
like
because they like really like nailed home how big this thing is.
Yeah,
In that scene.
yeah.
I like the scene at the end when they capture it, and he's like stuck in the helicopter. I don't know. I just like the actual shots of the
It worked
of
for
the
you.
of the croc.
You're an
and stuff.
effects guy.
I am.
If the effects don't work, you're out. You're
Yeah,
done. Doesn't
yeah.
matter if the movie's
I
good or not.
felt sorry for the thing
Hmm.
at the end when he was stuck in a helicopter. I really wanted him to break out of the helicopter and just start having lunch. I really did. I was like, "Yeah, man, go eat them motherfuckers. Yeah, do it." But Oliver Platt was
God, he's
so good in this movie. He was so funny.
I like how he kept making fun of Brendan Gleeson's weight.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's just as fat as
yeah.
he is.
I think he might be bigger. And he's like, hey, sometimes things don't really connect when friends and family say it to
Yeah.
you. So I'm just going to tell you right now, you're fat.
Yeah,
It's just such a dick.
I feel like this was like when Bridget Nielsen, or what's her name?
Fonda.
Bridget Fonda. Bridget Nielsen. Wow. I think this is like when she peaked.
I don't know. I have no idea who she is.
This was around the time like she had done that La Femme Nikita ripoff,
Yeah.
or American remake.
She was in Jackie Brown
Because
too.
I don't think.
Yeah, but that was way after this. I think.
I think this is like her best movie. I don't think this is like she was never that great, right? I mean, I don't know.
I found her super annoying in this movie.
I found
Really? I liked her.
Oh, I couldn't
the
stand her.
female cop was pretty hot. I liked her.
She was cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
remember when she tried to get Oliver Platt to like have
okay,
sex with her instead
okay,
of
I will. I'll
chasing
sleep
after?
with
Yeah.
you. I don't know,
this
man.
movie.
Favorite part of this movie? I don't know, man. I hate that question because I don't have a favorite part.
Okay.
I just
You can
enjoyed
say that. It's okay.
I enjoyed this movie.
So what's your star rating?
I'm gonna give it a 3,
That's it?
3.5. I'll
Wow.
give it a 3.5 because
You are stingy with your
because
stars. man.
I am stingy with my stars. I mean, am I gonna watch this movie 20 times? No, but I'll watch it a couple times. It's fun. It's a cool alligator thriller. I really like the beginning when with the
The Beavers?
with the beaver dude. The beaver made me jump, and I thought that scene when they pulled half his carcass out of the water
Hashtag the Beaver made me jump.
was pretty gnarly.
Okay.
And Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it was fun.
You like the kill scenes then?
I definitely would suggest people go watch this. Don't take it seriously. Go in thinking it's just a fun killer alligator movie with Betty White cussing at cops. It's pretty funny.
If I had a dick, this is where I'd tell you to suck it.
Yeah, I mean,
God, what a line.
I think
She's
this is
such a
about.
badass.
I think also this is about the time because Betty White had like a geriatric resurgence,
Yes.
right? And I think this was probably the start of it.
Okay.
You know, I think that Cleveland show with Valerie Bertinelli and all them
Hot in
came.
Cleveland?
Hot in Cleveland, I think, came after this.
How crazy is it that like
You know-
we're like 22 years later?
She's
and
still alive.
Well,
Yeah.
she's in her 90s, right?
No, she's like 100 now.
Seriously?
I think she's made it to 100.
Way to go, Betty.
If she's not 100,
I think she's like
going to
90.
be.
There's a meme out there that said Betty White is literally older than sliced bread.
But,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
she's
is.
always looked old.
Yeah, she has, right?
I don't know. I've seen pictures
I mean,
of black and white photos from
look,
her when she's in
even-
her like
look,
30s.
listen,
She's 99.
Damn.
And
Way to go,
even
Betty.
In like the Mary Tyler Moore show when she was in her like 70s, she still looked old, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And that didn't come out right. But
Golden Girls.
yeah, I mean, we all love Betty White.
Betty White's a national
I mean,
treasure.
she really is a national treasure. I love Betty White for real. I mean, God bless my grandma, but my Betty White would be a good replacement grandma. You know what I mean?
Damn, dude.
But no. She
I
would
think
never.
she makes a good martini.
she would never replace my grandma.
made good martinis.
She would never
I
replace
feel like
my
that's
grandma.
a movie pitch. Replacement grandma.
Yeah, that's probably it's not
with
bad.
Betty White.
Yeah.
Katie's just like, hold on, let me write this down.
Write that shit.
That's-
Send it to the internet.
That's genius.
But her just like being crazy Carol Baskin bitch
Yeah.
was hilarious.
Okay.
I loved it. I loved Betty White.
3 stars. All right.
Yeah,
Jude, how about you?
No, I'm 3.5.
3. Oh, we gave it a half star for Betty White.
I'm gonna go 3.5, half star for Betty White. For
Nice. Okay. Jude, how about you?
I love this movie. This movie is the whole reason why we watched anything else this week. I just really wanted to rewatch this, and I just think it's a really fun beginning to end movie. I can't say that I have a favorite part.
Okay.
Because like I love Betty White and I love Oliver Platt, and like I just think Bridget Fonda is adorable in this, and Bill Pullman. It's just like the whole cast is great. It's written so well. The quipping back and forth is so realistic and believable, and it's this absurd movie about a giant crocodile, but everything's so believable in it, and I love it. For me, it's a 4-star, 4 out of 5.
Baby alligators?
Crocodiles.
Carol Baskins?
Fat jokes
Okay.
about what's his name, the sheriff,
Donald Gleason.
Donald Gleason.
Okay.
Brendan Gleeson.
Brendan Gleeson.
That's it.
Who's Donald Gleason? That sounds like a name that belongs to
I
somebody.
think
That's it's like Donald Sutherland mixed with Brendan Gleeson.
All right. Matt Decadish, final thoughts. Give it a rating.
So my favorite part in this movie is anything with Brendan Gleeson in it.
Oh, we're not going to all dance? Oh, I thought we were all going to dance. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
I don't dance. So
I've seen him dance. He's lying.
Look, man, Oliver Platt's the best dancer in the world.
you want to do your Oliver Platt impression?
They're dancing to Tom Jones, which is amazing.
He's gonna put this to Tom Jones.
Can she stay? We were going to mate. That's his mating
That's my
dance.
mating dance. Yeah.
And the deputy's just like, okay, whatever.
It's not unusual
Anyway.
to be loved by anyone.
Continue, Kadish.
So I really enjoyed this movie. David E. Kelly was in rare form here. All the actors were fantastic. It's a very well written film. It's a fun film. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it. You know, it's
glad
been
you
a
enjoyed
long time since I
was,
watched
right?
it. Yeah.
It was fun.
So I would have to agree with Jude. This is definitely a 4 Tom Jones out of 5
Nice.
parties.
Nice.
On
4 tent parties?
4 tent parties out of 5.
Tent parties at the Dark Lake place.
That's dope, dude.
Oh, wait, I changed mine. I'm giving it 4 out of 5 beavers.
Goddamn beavers.
Nice beaver.
You got great tits, kid. You got a real nice beaver, too.
You're smart, you're educated, and you got great tits.
God, what a line. All right. You said 4?
I just said 4. Yes.
Okay, great.
Wow. That's strong.
That is a strong. This is going to be a good movie, guys. A good review, I mean. My favorite part is anything with Gleason and Platt. Those two
Yes.
save the movie for me. If you took that element out of this movie, I don't think I would like it
I'm
very
shipping
much.
Cleason.
Gleason?
God damn it,
Please,
Jude.
Pleeson. Gleason.
Cleason.
Okay.
I hate shippers. All right.
Do you prefer Glatt?
Snake Cleason.
Kind of, yeah. I do prefer Glatt.
Glass. God damn.
And their relationship was more believable than the other one.
You're right. You're right. 100%. Yeah, they saved this
true
movie.
bromance.
I feel sorry for Bill Pullman because he was like forgotten.
I
like,
don't.
eh.
I don't remember his character's
It's like
name.
we're supposed to care about his character,
don't.
but nobody does.
I love Lone Star and everything.
Yes.
I
granted.
think I did go 4th of July.
Is this before or after Independence Day?
Independence Day. He's always
Independence Day was 98, right?
Yeah,
I
don't
think
know.
so.
So this is after that?
Probably.
Huh.
He went downhill.
The thing I love about Bill Pullman is like he's consistent in every movie he does.
Very bland.
Not bland. Like I feel like he's charismatic. Like if you've ever seen Maximum Zero, like that's Bill Pullman at his like A game.
You know what I was thinking through this whole movie? It's like Bill Pullman could have been replaced by any of the Baldwin brothers.
No.
And it would have been perfectly fine.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I could see Alec Baldwin in this role.
Oh, yeah,
I
for
could. He might have actually added a little bit something to it. Because he has good comedic chops too.
Yeah.
Alec Baldwin's really funny if you watch like 30 Rock and something like that.
Independence Day was
any
96.
of the Baldwin, even Billy. Billy would have filled in.
No. Anyway, yeah, the Platt and Gleason thing saved this movie for me. It was so funny. It elevates the entire film. 4 out of 5. Giant alligators.
So you guys are all 4?
Yeah.
And I'm 3.5.
3.5.
All right, well, I'm sticking
You're
with my
stingy
3.5.
though. That's
You're
cool. That's your
stingy.
thing. All right, that's it, guys. That's our discussion for August Bites, Alligator Edition. Thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the conversation. Comment below what your favorite alligator movie is, and maybe we'll watch it next year. Gosh, this was so much fun, guys. Thank you all for joining us. SaltyNerdClub.com if you would like to support the podcast and become a patron, get access to all the blooper reels and entertainment stuff. Go check that out. Matt Vader, before we get out of here, where can they find you on the socials?
You can find me on Twitter at MattVader74 for my personal stuff and at _nerd.
You need to tweet
for
about your vagina juice.
show stuff. I will put the vagina juice recipe out there. Yeah, and I also do some stuff on YouTube for our channel at salty_. What is it?
Salty Nerd Video.
saltynerdvideo.com. That's right. Yeah. So yeah,
Right on.
that's it. I'm all about shilling the salty nerd right now.
There you
So,
go.
yeah.
Good for you, sir. And Jude, where can they find you at?
You can find me at I am Juju on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
Excellent. Matthew Kadish.
You can find me at Twitter at Matthew Kadish, Kadish, and you can also go to kadishbooks.com if you want to check out my Amazon page. And I'd also like to remind everyone that they can go to saltylist.com to sign up for our newsletter. I'm going to be sending out a weekly newsletter with like movie news and stuff that we talk about on the podcast, but don't really get into too in depth. It's going to be very kind of like filmy, geeky, behind the scenes stuff. So
We all have emails now, right?
I don't know what mine is yet, though.
it's your name at Salty Nerd. So
Well,
Alex at
those-
saltynerd.com.
Oh, okay. Alex at saltynerd.com.
What's
You can-
mine?
Yours is Matt Vader at saltynerd.com.
I'm so happy you set that stuff up that we don't.
Okay,
forget to
this is
check.
the producer. This is
I
what
know,
he
right?
does.
I
Yeah.
got to remember to do that. Matt Vader at saltynerd.com.
That seems
that right?
weird.
I
Is that
gave
right?
I gave you guys business
I
cards.
know,
I
right?
literally had it printed out.
I handed out like 3 during the convention.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, you guys can find me on our Discord channel, saltynerddiscord.com. Head over there and hop into the Discord chat. I have a section just for dinosaurs and reptiles. We'll probably talk about Lake Placid this week. And we'll have a ton
Flare
of fun.
channel.
The Flare channel. We don't need to start a new one for buttons. If you guys are into buttons like Matt Vader over there.
Or
where there's-
patches.
Or patches. Yeah. If you're into that kind of thing,
do
we
we
do
want
like a
do we want to
collector's.
make salty nerd patches?
I would love to.
We should. I'll look into that.
I can look into that. All right, guys. Anyway, chat with us over there at Discord. And yeah, have a great week. I hope you guys enjoyed the show and stay salty, my friends.